Greetings, here's Lodrik, and this is the Game War on the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is a play-by-email match against KilRoy. He's the commander of the Allied forces, and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 with no modifications, and this will be the 14th January 1942 turn. Last day and turn we saw that my battle cruisers source of Midway was successful in sinking 2-3 enemy tankers and support stuff. In response to this, there was an airstrike out of Midway with dive bombers and hitting one of my battle cruisers, but they create no damage, let's say this. Now I try to bring in my battle cruisers and make a bombardment on airfield of Midway, simply to create create damage on the airfield and on the airplanes on the ground. So, but at the same time, I was able to find here 2 enemy destroyers, or maybe support destroyers. DMS, so destroyer minesweepers. So they have less firepower, but at least this is some real military equipment. So I let it play out a little, and we can see how a night engagement will work for my Japanese forces against these Americans. This is a very dark night with only 7% moonlight. No one have radar here. At least I don't think that the DMS have this early on in the war radar. This kind of engagements are, or often it is who lands the first hit is already in the better position, simply because a hit will always slow down the ship, make it more hard to maneuver, and this will create more hits on the already damaged ship. So. But this is a night engagement and we shelling each other, and at the end no one can create any hit here. Okay, there's again a 4-inch shell hit, but the game will give you the feedback that there's now fire on board, but don't expect it too much. 4-inch shell hits will have no impact on a battle cruiser at all. So, at the end, I am not able to really land a hit, 2 hits on my battleships or battle cruisers, but 4-inch is simply meaningless. But, surprise, surprise, I am here unloading some stuff. Luckily, I already finished the unloading, and this is, I think, the rest of my cargo. I'm not more sure if there's really anything on board. And here are 2 British light cruisers coming back to Palmbang to mess up with my transportation. So sometimes KilRoy is very aggressive. Here, this is not only, these are the heavy cruisers. And he messed up, of course, here with my cargo fleet. Not that I have here much. One light cruiser.
Hello, you fighting orphans of the Pacific. This is your favorite enemy, Orphan Anne, at Radio Tokyo, with music to lift your spirits and words to depress your morale. But first, Imperial General Headquarters announced today that the Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Palembang, with the sinking of 2 carriers, a battleship, and numerous cruisers and destroyers.
So, all of these dead sailors are part of a very great successful Japanese counter-strike operations. The Allies lost dozens of ships, like Tokyo Rose already let us know, and all of these losses are only a small price to pay for the greater success. You can see here still some tanks or vehicles. I was unloading some tank units and most of the equipment is already arrived in Palmbang, so it is not a super critical victory, but it was a surprise attack. It's very risky. I was not able to, simply I don't have enough mines to mine all of my own ports. And again, KilRoy come and strike, and sometimes he's successful, like here to see. Now he must escape, and this is the next chapter of this engagement. So originally he come to make a bombardment attack, and he can damage some of my airplanes or and destroy 2 of my cargo ships. And I think this was not easy to see here. This task force was normally docked, and I think this is also something what I learned new. Or I'm not more sure if it was here or it was in Port Moresby. I think this was here. I had a docked task force, and normally I thought if a task force is docked, it cannot be attacked. But this task force tried to escape, and then it's undocked automatically, and then it was more or less able to be intercepted by these British cruisers. So a docked task force is maybe safe for submarine attack, but if there is an enemy task force coming, it still can happen this way. And because there are troops on board, this task force cannot disband. So I don't know what will happen if you have normally a cargo task force with only supplies or fuel. Maybe then the task force will disband automatically and not try to escape. I don't know. But this was what I learned. A docked task force with troops can still be attacked if it's tried to escape. Yeah. I mean, that is a little special here, but yeah. It would be boring if I run here from one success to the next without any negative news. And luckily, the greater news, the sinking of many carriers and battleships are still in favor for Japan. So no problem at home in Japan. Everyone is happy. So one local minesweeper is finding these 2 cruisers trying to escape now. Of course, my sweeper is unlucky here. Yeah, but again, the British wasting more shells. More reported hits on this patrol craft, and reported hits on this destroyer minesweepers. My battle cruiser was not able to sink. A little bombardment in China. Not much air activity. Some allied ships are sinking. Still sweeping Batavia. Still some Dutch, British Buffaloes in the air. But maybe this was the end of this story. And no other airstrikes. So again, I have many Navy bombers on searching and strike missions, but often they don't want to fly. They detect enemies, but they don't attack. Whatever happens. These British cruisers are still alive for one more day. Hopefully, they are soon, let's say, not more in active service. Good. There's still a HQ I try to finish off, and now they surrender. So this was the 10th Army Group HQ give up. And I walk north with this division to clean up this defenders of Kokong. And they also retreating now to the west. Okay. And some other Chinese forces always retreating. Here I test the enemy defense, what is left, and yeah, I think this I can overcome with a division. Maybe next time I attack. This is mountain terrain, or at least rough terrain, is much more complicated. To break enemies here, I have on paper more than double attack value, but the defense terrain is very good for the defenders, so I maybe need to wait for reinforcements. And attack on Bataan. I think the third or fourth battle of Bataan. And this time the Japanese take the base, and this is the end of all American resistance here in Luzon, North Philippines. So mid of January, the Battle of Philippines is in the north and in the south over. Luzon and Mindanao both are completely under Japanese control. And again, more disabled units for me, but of course still a victory, and roughly February, 3 months earlier than in real time or in historical context. I also push against this Dutch forces running out of Palming before, and they cannot hold against tanks. The Australians give up immediately. Also a nice victory. 3 units destroyed, 2 retreating to the west. Now Leh, no defense here, and more bombardment on Omaya with no impact. So normally a successful day, not much air activity. Land battles are now finally, the final victory on the Philippines happened. Only this sneaky attack from KilRoy against my shipping in Palmbang. I had, I think, some cruisers on guard, but I sent them back, so it's always a little unlucky. But this can happen, and it was a surprise because the ships was normally docked, and so I thought it's not really impossible to do this kind of stuff. The bombardment could happen, but a bombardment would normally not make this kind of damage. But sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. So air war was still in favor for me, 11-3. This is here all the scout planes in Bataan getting destroyed. I had 3 Zeros killed in Palmbang, and these are the 2 kills over Batavia. And the P-35, I don't know, wherever they died. Ship sunk was this time in favor for KilRoy, so I lost a bunch of my good cargo ships, one really good one, the better one. 10 points is also good. All of the ships are nice, but I have still 100 or more of them, so if this happens only once in a month, I would maybe still survive the war. But again, it's this the first turn, I think, where we only have Japanese Navy ships or Japanese ships lost in one minesweeper. And nothing for the Allies, at least official. There was some sinking sound, but I don't know what. Good. I have no detection for these ships now, but I will of course try to hunt them down. It was, I think, maybe just the moment I reorganized my stuff because I moved into Singapore, and Singapore base is now just finished repairing. So I bring all of my equipment inside, and it was maybe just an overlap of not active air units. I was just here on training, and my other stuff was also. Normally I just changed here the airplanes. Before I had here always scout planes running. Yeah, can happen. And the cruisers, maybe they pass by somewhere and I don't get the detection on them. But yeah, I will hunt them down, and then at the end it's still a Japanese victory. So in Mindanao everything is done. I bring all my forces to this western harbor, and I'm waiting now for some ships to pick up me, and then I will bring them to Tarakan. And here is now Bataan also conquered, but here's no installation, so it's not so important. So I bring all my forces back to Manila, rest them. The only problem is I'm very low on supplies, so to feed this many units, this is maybe yeah. Many of my units are also a little damaged. Some more, some less. This is okay. But you can see the 48th Division have more disabled units, and the 4th Division is heavily damaged compared to all the others. 33rd Division also looks not much better. So I maybe have to wait 1 or 2 weeks in Manila to get them ready for the next operations. And I have normally enough forces in Singapore to ship them to Java, to take maybe Java, and yeah, we'll see. So no activity here in the South Pacific. I think my carriers are back in port. No, they're coming back next turn. So they just 1 hex away from Rabaul. And my battleships are, or battle cruisers? Patrol ships. Wake? Here. I was too far. So my battleships are finished with the operation. I use my shells, or not all of my shells, but some of my ships. Some have shells, some have no shells. So I don't know exactly why, but some battleships shell more and others they only half. But I don't want to go back now. Maybe another day. I keep a submarine to give me feedback information, what kind of ships are here in the port. Maybe I come back another time. But first I rearm, refuel, and prepare for the next operation. Good. So number 1 task, it will be in the future normally find these 2 British cruisers, let them not escape, and also prepare and continue the operation against Sumatra and the next Java. At the same time, Tarakan and Balikpapan. Good. Thank you all. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.